you know, at this day and age, landfill is there's more and more landfill, and greenhouse gases is increasing, and I think us as humans needs to address these issues, because if not, the Earth is just going to be a worse place to live. And you know, there's many generations to come, and we can't just be greedy and selfish and use this as our own. And that's why we need to take care of the planet and make sure that it's livable and it's green.
Upcycling for me is looking for the stuff that people discard and making it useful again.
It's about adding value to something that's valueless, taking a waste product and creating something out of that that gives it a further use. And I think that it's important to contrast that to recycling, where upcycling is more of a rebirth. You're sort of moving something up the supply chain, whereas with recycling it's sort of extending its life before it goes to the tip, but adds sort of, you know, you don't add any value. It's this gradual loss of value with recycling, whereas upcycling is a completely new rebirth.
Upcycling in this instance is looking at all the bits and pieces that are taken in the production of these beautiful carpet tiles, and it's drawing people's attention to them and pulling them out and giving them a greater use for something. It's giving them more of a value, it's turning them into something, it's making them known to people, not just letting them go to waste, get recycled, fall in the background.
I also see upcycling as, you know, being a unique way of reducing the building industry's often poor building standards. So often there's a lot of waste, obviously, that goes into building. So being able to reduce some of that waste by upcycling is, you know, a unique thing.
The public is a lot more conscious of it as well, and so just it becomes part of your psyche. And you know, like at home, I automatically recycle, you know, my glass and everything. So it's just part of life now. So why wouldn't it be part of the industry?
One of the advantages of using upcycling is to get bigger companies to think about the processes, the materials that they work with. So by Interface inviting me to create an artwork or a one-off product for the exhibition, it highlights exactly that, encapsulates that in a nutshell really. I'm using their waste tiles, I'm screen printing onto them, turning these tiles into a one-off artwork that then starts a conversation about, well, what else would have these tiles been used for? They would have been, originally they would have been just discarded and put in landfill. Interface are actually putting them into their manufacturing process. So I'm stopping the process, pulling it out, screen printing on the tiles and turning that into a product that then creates a conversation.
I think this day and age, recycling and being eco-friendly is becoming so big, and it's being so pushed in the design industry. So I think this is a really great project to teach people don't always go for new and beautiful and shiny, when there's so many great things you can do with things that have already been used, and you know, you're helping the environment, you're creating something amazing, and it's, yeah, it doesn't need to be expensive, doesn't need to be new, and you can still get a great result.
What we're trying to do is create an experience rather than make a space. And the idea behind what we're doing is that we want people to come in and have an all-around experience. Like when you move through it, it changes and it reacts to where you are and where you look and what you do. I think ideally what we would want is for people to not even notice when they're first in the space that all this stuff is essentially trash. I mean, if we can achieve that, that to me would be perfect.
So the space at Interface Floor, what I have done is, you know, I guess I've taken that ethos of you know, leaving the materials in their raw state, and trying to, you know, not trying to pretend that the modular carpet tiles are something that they're not, or reinterpret them as something else. But I very much left them in their carpet tile tactile form and have, you know, sort of taken a play on pop culture, I guess, and using colour as a means of inspiration to reinterpreting.
I mean, in terms of the materials we've been given to use, if they were to be recycled, you know, they would go off to a recycling plant, they would become more bobbins or more raw materials. And I think what we've tried to do is to take that and use the materials in a surprising way and to give them that bit of extra value that you get in upcycling.
Well, I think the whole experience should be interesting in itself, because the whole structure is made out of the one material, and the repetition of the design, the different lights that comes through should give them an experience that, you know, that they would not have usually experienced before. And using the beauty of the raw materials is even the added surprise to this place.
We're using all recycled materials, or all the materials that would be used to create a carpet tile. You've got the bobbins of the yarn, so that's basically just to spool the yarn for the carpet tile. You could use it, or, you know, we're in our project, we're using it. You could use that piece as a light fixture, or you could use it as part of a wall cladding, or you could use it as, you know, as a piece of furniture. So you're not using that element as the same thing. You're not using it for its original use. You're actually using it for a completely different use and extending that life. I think it's just a smart way of dealing with products. I think it's the responsible way of dealing with products. We tend to waste so much. So for us to take, for example, the carpet tile and break up all the elements that it has, and then reuse it or recycle those elements, and I don't see why we haven't been doing that earlier. It's just pretty simple.